Desperate times call for desperate measures, and in this video we're going to talk about manipulated listings that I'm seeing, and I'm not sure whether or not it's intentional or if these are honest mistakes. Stick around to find out how House Sigma information is displayed and why you may be losing a lot of visibility to what's actually happening. Hi, my name is Vass. I'm a chartered professional accountant by training. I'm a full-time realtor that's built and invested in real estate right here in Toronto, York region, and in secondary markets. Now let's get into the video. For some context, these types of listings started popping up in the last few months. I've seen them in the past where I think maybe there were mistakes, but it just seems a little bit more prevalent now, and I think I have an idea as to why they're happening, but again, I want to reserve judgment. You be the judge and you tell me what you think. Let's start with our first listing. So this was in an area where I had a competing listing, so I knew this listing very intimately. I was keeping an eye out on it. So one thing I found very odd is that, for one, it was listed and it had no prior history. So it looks like this is the first time it's been listed for 1.388. It's been sold conditional. Nonetheless, I found it odd because I knew it was listed multiple times prior, but for whatever reason on a website like House Sigma, it was showing it's just listed once. And then it dawned on me that right here, the street abbreviation was Drive, when this street is actually Road. Now, let's fast forward to after doing some digging, what I found out. This is the real history of this exact same listing with the right street abbreviation of Road. You can tell here it was actually listed 3 times recently in total, 2 terminations, and on the last one it was sold. On the last one where it was sold conditional, that's when it had the street abbreviation Drive, and the first 2 and the prior history in itself was Road, because that is the correct street abbreviation. So I found that a little bit odd, but obviously, as you can see, if you change the street abbreviation, you don't show the history, and in a case like this where I would consider this a stale listing or a listing that's had multiple listings and then terminations, it technically doesn't look very good. I suppose you would want to hide that potentially. I don't know, but that's what it seems like to me. You be the judge of that. To make sure that I wasn't making this stuff up in my head, I did go in the back end of the MLS and I took a look at all the changes that were done, because thankfully MLS tracks every single change that's made to a listing. And it looks like the 3rd time that it was relisted incorrectly on May 17th, after a month, or on June 27th, which is recently, they changed the abbreviation back to Road, which is the correct one. But for this entire time, it was listed incorrectly and therefore not showing the prior sales history or listing history. Here's the second listing. This one is a little bit different. Now, I had to do a home evaluation for a neighboring property to this one, so I knew the history of this place. I had driven by it many times. I know it sold earlier in the year for about $4.5 million. So then I saw it for sale again. Okay, fine. I went on House Sigma and I found that odd, that there's no sales history. We just have this for sale for $6 million and nothing else. And I thought to myself, that's odd. Well, why is that? Is this another street abbreviation thing? Well, no, it's not, because it says Road and this is a road. Then I noticed this dot. They had put a dot here. Now, let's see what happens when you take the dot out and take a look on House Sigma. Here is the exact same property without the dot. Now we're showing the sales history. So again, I had to deep dive this one particularly and see what happened. Here we are with this listing. As you can see, the dot is right here originally, and then this was on June 15th, and then on June 21st, there's a correction made to the address. So after 7 days, they had corrected it. Why there was a dot after the name of the street, I don't know. Again, I'm going to reserve judgment here. I hope you found this video useful. Things like this happen. Sometimes we all make mistakes. I'm not sure what happened on both of these listings. I'm just happy both of them have been corrected since. But what bothers me is that there were periods of time where somebody might have been looking at these properties completely unaware of the history, and I think that would change the way they approach the offer, or if they even offer. So with that said, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to email or text me. I'd be more than happy to help, and I'll see you in the next one.